Welcome back to another video. It is Christmas Eve. It's 1:15. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's actually 1:20. I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I do not want to train right now. I've had a really good day so far, like really productive morning, and the plan was to get all kind of jobs done this morning, train, and then we've got to take Zuko to the vet for 5:45 tonight, just for his like booster vaccines, and then it'll be just a chilled evening and actually relax and just kind of enjoy Christmas Eve. I've not watched a single Christmas movie this year, which I don't think I did last year or the year before either, which is just not good enough. And every year I'm like, next year I'm going to watch more. I would like to sit down and watch a Christmas movie this evening, but we will see what happens. But I'm very tired because I got up 7:45 this morning, so not super early by any means, don't get me wrong. Fairly decent sleep last night, but as soon as I got up, it was just, okay, let's get the house clean. So I've cleaned like the entire house, top to bottom, and I took Zuko on a nice walk. And then my parents and my brother came over for a bit to see Zuko because my brother doesn't live near us, so we haven't seen him for like, I don't know how long, like over 6 months. So they came around to also see Zuko. So just kind of a bit of not rushing around at all, to be fair. It's been a pretty chilled morning, but it's just been like, I haven't stopped really as yet this morning. And then it got to like just after 12 and I was like, okay, no, I need to start training soon because we don't want to run out of time. I've got SPD today and it doesn't take me too long to do today, don't get me wrong, but because I'm feeling like this, I would like to just be able to take my time. So yeah, anyway, it got to like 12-ish and I was like, okay, well, I have a massive headache and I feel like I could fall asleep any second, so that's not ideal. So I was going to take some caffeine pills, pre-workout, just to kind of get some caffeine in my system and help with that. But I realised that they were not in the kitchen where I normally keep them. I think they're still in my comp bag, but my comp bag was in the garage. I didn't want to come outside and get cold. I could literally have taken them now, but I'm not going to bother now. I'm actually starting to feel a little bit better because I did take some, I can't get my words out. I did take some painkillers because I was had a headache. I don't know if I said that, I have a headache as well. So I took some painkillers and they've started to kick in. It's just now that I just feel really sleepy and I would much rather be on the sofa, curled up in pajamas with the heating on, just watching TV/napping. But that's fine because that is what I will be doing probably later tonight. But yeah, it's all good. I will have to train. I want to train through Christmas. Yeah, it's all good. I know I'll be fine when I start training. I'm just very sleepy right now. And it's just really cold as well. I don't really want to be out here in the cold. Obviously, I've got the heater on in the background. You can probably hear. But yeah, so currently that's how I'm feeling. Tired, sleepy, bit of a headache, but it's all good. I did bring a Monster out here, a can of Monster to have as well, but I'll probably start sipping on that once I actually kind of get through my heaviest sets of squats and just kind of make it last the session. I've also got accessories to do after as well. So I think that's where whenever I have to leave the house and I've got something else going on later on, like I start to feel stressed, even though we've got 3 accessories to do when we get to the gym. Like, it's not a lot. And I say if anyone doesn't know, my boyfriend comes with me to the gym to do my accessories. So I'll do my SPD here and then we will go to the gym, do cardio and accessories, and then come back. And we'll still probably have a good amount of time to walk Zuko and then take him to the vets, because he needs a second walk today, really, because my first walk was not overly long. It was about 40 minutes at most. So I would like to take him on another one this afternoon/evening before we take him to the vets. But yeah, I'm just feeling very tired. So we've got SPD today. Overall, I feel decent. So in the last video, I mentioned that my neck had flared up. That was filmed yesterday at the time of filming this. My neck actually feels quite a bit better today. So it's not anywhere near as bad as it sometimes gets. Yesterday, it did impact my positioning on bench. I'm hoping that squatting doesn't make it any worse and it just feels okay for bench. It's very light bench today anyway, so I should be good. I've got 2 ascending triples on squats. I think RP 5.5 and 6.5. So nothing crazy heavy. The lows are starting to creep up a little bit, but I'm just going to see how I feel warming up and maybe just match last week, if not go slightly heavier. I very much need to just remember this is not a block where I need to push and like take it easy, be kind to myself and just do what needs to be done. I've then got descending 7 squat back offs, so that's going to suck regardless. And yes, not yesterday, last week I did undershoot those. So I think my heaviest set last week for 7 was 140 on squat and it was very comfortable. So I probably do need to go more like to the 150 range. But because it's Christmas Eve and I deserve to treat myself, I might just go in the middle and go 145. But I'll see how I feel, because the other thing as well is my hamstring glute issue that I regularly mention in these videos, especially lately, is a little bit flared up again. It had been a bit better. It was really bad. I think it was this session last week. It was really, really bad. But that was just my own fault for having a really long day at my desk. But the last couple of days, I have been at my desk for like a crazy amount of hours. So it has gotten quite bad again and it's feeling a bit uncomfortable to like even now just kind of sat here. I'm trying not to put any weight on that side just because it makes it a bit worse. So that's not feeling great. It shouldn't interfere with the session. Like, I've dealt with it long enough to know that it shouldn't really make anything difficult, anything harder than it needs to be. It's just a bit of discomfort. So it's not a problem. And I don't really notice it during the lifts. It's just kind of after and like before. So that's fine. It's just something that I'm aware of. And then, yeah, I've got very light bench. I've got sumo, like paused sumo, very light paused sumo. I'm imagining the load is going to be like 145-ish. It is a set load for my sumo today, so I'll just see what Lewis has put. But I'm just going to focus on one lift at a time. But this session doesn't take me very long because none of it's like heavy. It's my secondary lifts for squats and deadlifts, and bench. I think technically it would be my quaternary day if you're going to name it like that. It's my lightest bench day. We've only just moved up to 4 days a week of bench. Also, the wind is blowing against the garage door, so you can probably hear that. But yeah, we've only recently moved up to 4 days a week bench, so currently we're just doing this additional very light day just to get used to doing that. So all should be fine, all should be good, and I'm hoping as I get into it, I'll start to wake up and feel a bit more energetic and ready to go, but we will see. I know I'll be fine when I get started. Like, we all have days like this where we don't really want to train, but I have to stick to my days, and I'm going to do it anyway, so it's all fine. Like, I have no excuse not to stick to my days. Like, my garage is literally next to my house. I have a whole gym next to my house. Like, I can't not train. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm going somewhere for Christmas, like, where some people have to move their days around. I do not have that excuse, so going to get it done. Because also, training today means, since we moved my days around, I actually have a rest day on Christmas Day. I've always trained on Christmas Day. I don't know if I've ever missed a session on Christmas Day. Even before I was like officially powerlifting, or when I was just like taking a bit of a break from powerlifting, I still trained on Christmas Day. When I worked as a personal trainer back in the day, the gym was open for like 3 hours on Christmas Day, and I would always work it because whoever was on shift, essentially there'd be two of us on shift, and one of us would train for an hour and a half, then the other one would train for an hour and a half, or roughly that each sort of thing, and then we'd just close and go home and have lunch or whatever. So I have always trained Christmas, so it's going to feel weird not, but I am actually excited to not train Christmas. I've had it's been a long year with training and not really enjoying it as much as I used to, and having a lot of burnout, and I definitely have come out the other side of that, don't get me wrong. Like, this is just one of those days where I'm tired, but like, I think I'm going to really enjoy having Christmas off from training tomorrow. And then I'll be straight back to it Boxing Day, so it doesn't matter. But Boxing Day is just going to be my really short session that I don't ever really film, because it's literally like a 40-minute session now. So yeah, that is the plan. That is how things are going. I'm not feeling overly festive, I'm not going to lie. I was a couple of weeks ago, but it's just very much lulled, and I just don't feel festive at all. But it's fine. It doesn't really matter. We don't do loads for Christmas anyway.
Let it go. 얼어붙어 like whoa 띵하고 어지러워 I see 한여름에도 넌 겨울 Yeah, girl you cold blood Yeah, 너와 있을 때 I swear 제가 먼저 zero 폭설한 그 chill 꿈에도 I wasn't aware 나만 빼고 넌 모두에게 참 친절해 내 신감이 들어 단판이 태도 머릿속을 흔드는 ibuprofen 그만해 it's time to stop 승부욕을 자극하는 style yeah. 알면서도 마음이 자꾸 내게 가 안만 빠져버릴까 If you want me back I'll tell you I'm sorry If you want me back I'll tell you stop trying Yeah, yeah, you got me Let it go 얼어붙어 like whoa 띵하고 어지러워 I see 한여름에도 넌 겨울 Yeah, girl you cold-blooded Yeah, girl you cold-blooded Yeah, yeah, yeah Girl you cold-blooded Girl you cold-blooded I'm like frozen 뭐야 모두 stressing gotta let it go 했어 속에 dating up
Okay, so squats are done. Just moving my camera. Yeah, squats are done. Pleasantly surprised. They felt awful. Like, just in general, my movement pattern felt terrible. By the time I got to my first like working set at 155 for the triple, suddenly they felt really good. Like, I just mentally really switched on. I will say, warming up, 70, 120, and 140 felt awful. Like, I considered thinking, like, when I got to the 140, I was like, should I just put my belt on and do my first triple at 140 because this feels awful? And I was like, no, just do 155. It's really hard as well with the wider stance. I'm used to a narrow stance on squat. With the wider stance, when I'm doing tempo, the ascent is so much slower. Like, obviously I'm slow on the descent, which is on purpose, the plan. Also, I'm very out of breath, so I'm not making much sense. And I've got like a really bad back pump, so I'm just gonna keep fidgeting. But yeah, the descent is obviously slow on purpose. And then normally if I'm in my narrow stance, I have such a good pop out of the hole that I find the ascent is quite quick, whereas it's still really slow with tempo, but that doesn't mean I don't have kilos left. It's just really hard to gauge the RPE. I went up to 165 after, and basically added 5 onto what I did last week. The goal was an RP 6.5. It was probably about right. I wrote it down as a 7 on my sheet. It might have been slightly higher than a 7, but honestly, I haven't got a clue. I literally couldn't tell you. Like, could I have done probably 10 more kilos? Yeah, probably. It would have been really hard, but I could have done it. So I'm like, how many more reps did I have left? I haven't got a clue. Like, I literally can't gauge it. Like, I put an RP 7 because I was like, well, rating out at 7 out of 10, probably about right. But considering how I felt coming in, I'm not mad at it. And I really did just kind of mentally switch on, which is something I normally struggle with. So I'm happy with that. And then I did 7s, 145, 135, 125. The 145 actually felt absolutely fine. It was meant to be an RP6, probably was also an undershoot. But it's just really hard with the wider stance. Like, I do miss having a narrow stance, and I'm kind of tempted. I'll probably finish out this block with the wider stance, and then I'll try and really teach myself to do narrow again. But I just don't know if my leverage will allow me to right now, because I say I'm heavy at the moment. I'm not actually no heavier than I normally sit. I'm actually probably lighter than I normally sit, like a month post-comp. So that's not really an excuse, but I think I feel heavy, so I'm telling myself I'm too heavy to do that narrow, and it's just going to take my ankles a bit of time to adjust to, but we'll see. Lewis is quite happy with how it looks wide anyway, and so am I, to be fair. Like, I feel really stable pushing through my feet, my balance and stuff is so much better, but overall power just feels down, but that's still something I'm obviously adapting to and getting used to, so I don't know. But there's no point changing stuff for the last week and a half of the block, so I'm going to stick with what I'm doing for the rest of this week and for next, and we'll see how we go. And then I think probably have a conversation with Lewis after this block, see what he says, see what I think, and go from there. I don't need to be strong right now. I'm probably not going to compete for like 6 more months, so it doesn't really matter. I'm still figuring stuff out. But anyway, that's all I really want to say on squats. There's not really much to go through. My hamstring issue is feeling quite, I don't want to say it's feeling quite bad. Like, nothing bad's going to happen. Like, I wouldn't push through if I thought my hamstring was just going to go or something like that. It's just irritating me, and I'm very aware of it. But it shouldn't be an issue for bench, and I might notice it a little bit on sumo, but it won't get any worse from doing sumo, so it's fine. It's just annoying. I did feel it a little bit on the tempo descent on, I think it was the 155 set, which then made me more nervous for the 165. But again, it's not, I said this to Lewis when I was explaining to him, for anyone that doesn't know, Lewis is my coach. It doesn't feel like it's going to go. Like, it's not something I'm worried is just going to suddenly go. It did cramp up last week, and that was quite bad, and it made me a bit more worried that it was going to turn into something quite serious. But I'm not worried that, like, my hamstring's going to tear or anything like that. Like, it's not that sort of feeling. I'm more worried that at some point it's going to affect my power output, and that's probably the thing that I'm most nervous for. So far, it hasn't. Like I said, it's just been discomfort. I am also seeing a friend he does like sports massage. I think he's technically a physio. I'm not entirely sure, but when I've had issues and stuff in the past, he's been really good at helping me, and he works literally around the corner from me now. So I'm seeing him on the 9th of January in the evening. So it's still a while away, but obviously with Christmas and everything, like, that's kind of just how it is, and that's absolutely fine. But I'm hoping if I just keep making sure my steps are up, don't sit down for too long, which obviously for Christmas, need to make sure I don't just sit on the sofa for like an entire day. But that's going to help hold me accountable to keep moving and stuff as well. And it should hopefully just ease off if I just have better behaviours, because I know that it gets worse when I sit for too long. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking because that squats took me ages, to be fair. It's now 25 past 2, so they took me a very long time. I'm going to get bench and deadlifts done, aiming to be done about 3, so we can head straight to the gym, because there's a little shop next door that my boyfriend wants to pop in to get some food, so I don't know what time they shut. I'm going to guess 4, so I want to make sure we get time to go in there before we go in the gym. And then, I think some cardio will also do good for my lower back, because I've got a little bit of a back pump post squats, which doesn't happen very often, but it is something I do struggle with sometimes when I'm a little bit lazy with my bracing and stuff. I don't know if I was necessarily lazy with my bracing today. I think just overall I was lazy, so is what it is. Anyway, let's stop talking, and I'm just going to crack on, get bench done, 5 to 87.5, and then sumo pause doubles at 145. I'll show you a set of both, but they're super sub-max, so it shouldn't be an issue at all.
Don't know about me and you, yeah, we fell into the cracks. Yeah, 갖고 노는 no cap. 왜 나는 보여 what's happening. 객관적일 수가 없이 이미 game white flag and waving fast. Yeah, I'm leaving back, but 말은 don't 너만 보면 나도 내 맘 I don't know. 이거 love a relationship. 헷갈리기만 해, girl. I'll tell you I'm sorry if you want me back.
Okay, so it is 5 to 3, and I am all done. Deadlifts felt really good, actually. I always get shocked with my light bench day on this session because I've done my secondary bench, like I did my secondary bench yesterday and had upper accessories after. And even though it was 3x5 at 87.5, it just feels awful. Like, it's still not hard, but it doesn't feel like an empty bar like 87.5 for comp bench 5s normally would. But it still moved fine, like it wasn't a problem. It was a little bit sloppy, I would say. But I think that's just the theme of the session, but it's fine. Still got it done. Nothing was obviously difficult. And then sumo pause doubles. The first always feels worse than the fourth. And I always have like 90 seconds between each pretty much just to get them done. But they feel really good. It's definitely looking more consistent. I film the first and the last set when I do these rather than filming all of them just because I don't want to film all of them. Especially like this week my coach is off. So, my camera fell over. Yeah, this week my coach is off, so I'm not sending him any videos anyway. So I'm literally just filming stuff for me to see, so I'm only filming like bare minimum. But yeah, normally I only film my first and last set of sumo, and actually they look pretty much identical, so very happy with that. And yeah, everything felt fine. Just excited to go get my accessories done so I can come home. We will have time to walk Zuko and then take him to the vets, and then having a very chilled Christmas Eve. That is the plan. I don't know, I want to make some banana bread up because I've got some bananas that need using. But that's probably the only other productive thing I will do today. I intend to do bare minimum now. And just have a couple of days to just chill. Obviously tomorrow is Christmas Day, so I will just be having a very chill day. Like I think literally our plan, I can't remember if I said this earlier, our plan so far, I literally just get up, kind of walk Zuko, go to my parents or like my family's for lunch, and then come back, walk Zuko again probably, and then potentially see my partner's parents in the evening, but we haven't planned anything yet, so it's just gonna be a very chill day. And when I go to my parents' for lunch, I'm probably literally just gonna turn up in pajamas and just have a very chill, relax, like, yeah, I'm looking forward to just a day of minimal responsibilities. It's felt really weird today because normally when I have a day off, I'm like still stressing about fitting everything in and like what I have to do. And like I woke up today and I was like, well, I've literally got no messages in my WhatsApp because clients aren't messaging me this week while I'm off. And I was like, I've literally not got one single message in my WhatsApp apart from I think my mum had sent me one. And I was like, my WhatsApp is empty. I don't have to plan when I'm replying to people. I can literally just clean and then decide what I want to do next rather than having like a set, you've got to do this, then this, then this, then this. It was very strange, but it's good strange and I need to get used to it and actually give myself more time off, I think. But very happy with how the session went in the end, considering how I felt at the start. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking. Thank you if you made it to the end. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in a few days for the next one.
You stop trying. Yeah,